So pretty. Hi, this is Julia with So Pretty. I want to talk about all the different things that you might want to make soap, but also I'll tell you about the basics. Basic, digital scale, necessary, must have, maybe $15. Also, these bowls, basic, I need these. They're $1 each at the dollar store. So, or Dollar Tree, whatever you have in your town, you might find one. These little Kiss Pour measuring cups I got from elementsbathandbody.com, suggested from Trey Marie Soapworks on YouTube. Also, she suggested these little stirring sticks, absolutely essential. I have about 6 cups and 6 sticks to stir with. It's awesome. Of course, you need your basic supplies for safety, like your glasses. We can use any one of these. These are all basic so far. Those are essential for bringing to trays. Also, I would recommend the 10-inch mold with the backing of the wood and the lid. But, you know, I found it actually works better if you use some saran wrap. Yes, I don't have a box. I have children, and I often end up like this. So I decided I would take one for the team and use this particular one with my soaping, and I put another boxed one in the kitchen, which I should switch out and let them see what it feels like to lose the box. But anyway, I love doing this to keep the moisture in and to help it go through gel phase. Whether or not you put it in a 130-degree oven, shut it off, let it come to coolness overnight, and then it'll get hard, and you can possibly cut it within 24 hours, depending on your recipe. Yeah, you shouldn't use wood. It eats it up. I wanted to see how it would work, but yeah, it doesn't work. And whatever they use to seal it probably would come off in your solution. But I love to have these dowel rods. Now that's one piece of wood it's probably I'm going to keep using, because you can put your Kiss Pour in there, or you can do layers and then use the stick to mix the layers in whatever pattern you'd like in it. And then it makes it so pretty. So I've been demonstrating some different ways that you can make your soap have different designs. So also, besides those basics, you might consider stirring with a spatula. I think, you know, we measure every ounce, every gram, whatever you want to use, and it's important to scrape it all out. Also, that was Anthony's activated charcoal, and I really think it's important when you're working with your mica or your charcoal to be very exact, not to make a mess. I do use a bulb, which I didn't show here, but I will in another video, and it really works, just tapping it very gently. And for the layers, if you'd like to use layers, I like to use this particular thermometer because I can set it where I want it to be. And in the future, you know, if you don't know where you want it, sorry, my hands are dirty from the activated charcoal, but you can set it where you want it, and then you can always keep it there so you know exactly where you like it. So I always put these upside down. I know if you look, they come like this, right side up, but I want to see my colors, so I put them all upside down. And it's really fun to use. They're from Dibble Dabble. I got these on Amazon. You don't have to. I just wanted to try mica to color my soap. I was just doing plain whatever color it made, but it was really fun to start making pretty soap, and that's why I have mica. But this Anthony's activated charcoal was super cheap, and it's been awesome, and it lasts forever. So does the Kale and Clay. Sorry, it's upside down. Like I said, I use that in every white, and I use, anytime I want black, I use the other. But sodium lactate makes your soap harder. Plus, if you put it in your lye water before you mix it with your oil, it'll keep it runny long enough that you can do Kiss Pour and other designs. And of course, your digital scale is absolutely so important. Now you can do your grams and ounces or whatever you'd like. So you want to clear out, put your container on it, clear it out so that you can pour oil or water or whatever you're doing and then it'll just measure what's in the cup instead of with the cup, because you want to make sure it's zeroed out when you put your container on. Those are some tricks of the trade too. So I would say there's a few things here that's not necessary. You don't need a sodium lactate. I would suggest you invest in a good digital scale. There's my bubble. There's my bubble. It's already set up for me for this, the video that I'm going to make after this demonstration, to spray the mica. It kind of comes up in a cloud and sometimes covers everything on my desk. This is the same desk I used to write and do my other work, but I sure do like soaping with it. So here's a little blue cup or teal cup that I like to use for my various oils, and oils you're going to need if you want to have a soap that smells really good. And I really like to use, I zero out this cup, by the way, and then I put whatever oils I want in there. I really like spearmint. This is all upside down. I really like spearmint with lavender. And with the lavender, I do 1.5 of the lavender and 0.5 of the spearmint. Together, that is the most delicious smell to me. It makes my mouth water. Now, this is what I'm trying to show you is sandalwood. I love 1.5 sandalwood with 0.5 patchouli. It's a really good man smell, although I have adult daughters who love it. This is Midnight Waters. I love it. It's from Brambleberry, probably one of my favorite smells next to the lavender spearmint. Peony, very floral, very beautiful. I like mixing peony with pineapple. I love that, but the pineapple is yellow, bright yellow. And so you'll do the same. I want more peony, 1.5 peony, and then 0.5 pineapple. I'm getting ahead. So these little containers, if I have just a little left in my other bottles, I kind of put them together and mix my own scents. And so they're little 1 ounce containers. Makes them really fun to have your own fragrance. You can use them as perfumes, or you can mix them with a small batch for heart shapes or little flowers. These are some fun things. If you want to try some different designs, you can put your batter in there to pour or squeeze into your 10-inch mold. But you can also use that little squeeze bottle to make a design after you've made your soap, and then let it sit longer before you cut it. Like beautiful flowers or just a crisscross. And so this is good for, I would even say your first time, because you can have a lot more control with these. You can do all kinds of different waffle designs, and you can get really creative. Do a confetti, just all layers of different colors. I think I only have 5 of these, 6 of them maybe at most. I've only done up to 4 colors. I don't think I've done more than 4 colors, if I can remember right. Sometimes I've done 4 colors plus a different color mica as a gold. But as you see here, I'm demonstrating, if you had the soap in there, you can just make designs on the top. Now the top is, a lot of people pay emphasis on the top. And so I often, if I don't like the top, I'll just spray it with mica with my bubble. But you can use the squeeze bottles to make a pretty top too. But you'll have to make put extra in there, and leave yourself some for designing on the top. So this little jar I got from takeout, from Chinese, and I kept it as what I measure my lye in. But I love using this knife. Works really well. It's flexible, it's sharp, and I've used this to cut my knife and to just clean it up very delicately. I like it. You might like a smaller knife. Some people are very comfortable with a paring knife, but this process right here is best done with a potato peeler. I just really like to take my time because I like to play with my soap. But here's a Kiss Pour soap that I made. And it took me a long time to figure out what temperature to pour that I can keep it thin enough to make a kiss pour, and I found from 90 to 100 degrees works best. I tend to hover closer to 100. I think it's because I'm impatient. But, you know, that's just me. But it's really important that you get a good planer. A planer can make a great difference on the sheen of your soap. If you don't plane it correctly, you'll see all these lines in it, and so it's really nice just to get it really smooth. This soap is a really hard recipe that I just created, so it came out so perfect. It was effortless almost for Kiss Pour as well. And I love the planer, but you got to make sure that both sides, if you look, there's 2 screws on the bottom. I think I might show you that. I don't remember. And you just want to keep those even, or you're going to get an uneven bar. So I actually dropped that piece. I was so mad. And see, there's the Kiss Pour. Also, you can cut your 10-inch mold a certain way so that you can get a mirror image. That's so much fun. I love it. It's so pretty. But that little top that I dropped, oh, I was so mad. I am kind of clumsy. I make a lot of mistakes, and that's why I'm making videos. So you don't make the same ones. Or when you do make a mistake, what to do. So sometimes the corners don't turn out for me because either I don't drop it so that everything kind of shifts. That's another thing. But you know, I just make these for myself, for my family, for my friends. I don't sell them. You know, maybe someday I will, but I don't know. But I'm just showing you here, when you clean up your soap, you just want to make sure the edges are nice and sharp, unless you want to take a potato peeler on them. And please don't touch the blade. As you just saw me, I still bear the scar where I cut it really bad. So it is really sharp. So if you plane it, you can get a really, really smooth soap, but you can't really plane with a knife. So you really do need to get a good planer. Now this one's small, and I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. But if your soap is sticky, don't plane it till it's hard. It's really hard not to play with your soap. It's so much fun. But please don't plane your soap until it's hard, or you're just going to get a sticky mess. So underneath the planer, you're going to get a lot of these little pieces. And so you're going to take these little pieces, and I would put them in a pot with some hot water, and you just double the water per the soap, and you'll get a really thick soap that'll probably be too gelled to use. Now this is a foaming soap container, that's why it's not coming out so good. But if you get a regular container, then it'll work really, really well. I use this to wash my hands. It's Castile. It's not a very good cleaning, but it's great for softening, and it has a nice scent. You still get your hands cleaned under the water. But this one has a different recipe for actual cleaning. It's just shaves of all the soaps. Not all the soaps. Most of the soaps, when I started saving the end pieces. But you're going to have to see what consistency of your hand soap you like. For me, I put in way more water than I just told you. So these little shavings that you see here, you always want to save them so you can make hand soap or rebatch soap. You know, chop them up into little pieces, mix it in with some white. You know, if you run out of mica, you can always do that. There's always a way that you don't have to waste. And that's important. You know, and you can just turn that into something that you use when you come in from the garage or something in your laundry room. But I don't know. I'd probably still use pretty soap in there too. So you want to keep that clean, but be very careful with that blade. It is sharp. For instance, here, when you need to adjust it, you just take a screwdriver and you simply loosen each side and adjust where you would like your blade to be. And you don't want it to shave off large chunks, just literal shavings, very thin. And it took me about 10 minutes to figure out how to get that to where I wanted it, because I tried different lengths to see what it would do. It's important to know your equipment And above all, be patient. You're going to make mistakes, and those mistakes actually could lead to something awesome. Like, I hated the tops of some of my soaps, and so I just covered it up with activated charcoal and the black, gorgeous black top. It was wonderful. And then I loved using sparkly gold mica and pink and blue. And before you know it, I just love covering it with mica. Except for the Kiss Pour, because it has such a beautiful design. I hated to cover up the design. And I mean, there's so many other things. Other people, I've seen them do little lavender buds or little rose petals, or some people like to get into the piping on some thick soap to make it look very edible. And that might be fun too. I think I'd like that. I'd like to pipe on little crisscross on the top to a pastel soap to make it look lovely, or make soap to match my bathroom. That would be fun. Or my kitchen, or wherever, or a friend's house. But above all, don't get discouraged. Just have fun. It's your soap, and you're going to think it's so pretty.